Hello and welcome to Para Not So Normal. I'm your host, Brittany Bento, a tarot reader and psychic medium. And on this podcast, we get into all things spiritual, supernatural, and mystical. So if that sounds up your alley, this is definitely the podcast for you. You can consider me your spiritual big sis or just your spiritual friend. So I'm excited to have you here with me today, and let's dive into the episode. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. And if you're on the podcast, it would mean so much to me if you would rate the podcast. But enough of that, let's get into today's episode. Today we're going to talk about manifestation. I've talked about this a couple of other times here on the podcast. Actually, I've talked about it quite a bit, but I'm really going to dedicate today's episode to manifestation because I'm noticing on my TikTok, a lot of people comment, about some of my readings that indicate that some of your manifestations might be coming in. There are a few comments that say things such as, oh, I've been hearing this for so long, for such and such of a time, and nothing's happening. If you find yourself in that boat, this is definitely the episode for you, because manifestation is so much more than just doing the manifestation techniques. And I've talked about this, and I will continue to talk about this time and time again until it starts to register, in people's brains. Not saying it's not registering in your brain, but a lot of people struggle with this, and it's definitely something that I struggled with for a really long time, so I can completely relate to you. If you're frustrated, if your manifestations are not coming in, I get it. And hey, I am no expert. Believe me, a lot of my manifestations have been coming to fruition, and it's because I finally understand how to do it. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm living my dream life at this time. It's not like I'm waking up tomorrow and all of my manifestations are here. It's not that way either, but so many manifestations have been coming forward for me. My life has completely changed, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm finally really starting to understand this. And once you really start to understand it, that is just when everything kind of starts to fall into play for you. So again, if you're stuck, if you're frustrated, this is the episode for you. So let's dive in. I'm going to talk about 3 main things that I think is really important to understand in order to get your manifestations to start coming in for you. Because manifestations, like I said, is so much more than just doing the manifestation techniques. Not saying that manifestation techniques are a bad thing, because they can definitely help you embody these 3 things that I'm going to talk about. However, without embodying these 3 things, the manifestation techniques will not really do much for you, because manifestation goes beyond simply just wishing and wanting something to come into your life. So the first thing that I want to talk about is alignment. In order for your manifestations to come in, you really need to be in alignment with whatever it is that you are trying to manifest. Your manifestations need to be in alignment with who you are to the core. It needs to be in alignment with you and your beliefs. And that's kind of where a lot of people go wrong, or a lot of people don't necessarily understand this. Let me give you an example. If, for example, you're trying to manifest a lump sum of money, really break down the reasons why you're trying to manifest money. Are you trying to manifest money because to your core, money in and of itself makes you really happy? Does it bring you joy? Ask yourself that. Or are you trying to manifest money because maybe you think that when you get money, you will be able to then live the life that you're desiring? A lot of people are like, oh, I wish I could win the lottery, or I wish I could manifest winning the lottery so that I could quit my job, so that I could go travel the world, so that I could buy the car of my dreams, etc., etc. Right? If you think about it, are they really trying to manifest money for the right reasons? Is money really what is in alignment with what they're wanting? Not really. Money is a means to an end. And in this case, the end would be quitting their job, aka freedom, vacationing or traveling the world, or whatever, or to buy whatever material thing that you want, cars, etc. Right? So it's not actually the money that is in alignment with what you're wanting, it's those other pieces. And also ask yourself, okay, why am I trying to manifest what I'm trying to manifest? Whatever it may be, whether it be money or not. Ask yourself that. And then ask yourself, do those reasons align with who I am or who I want to become? It's so much easier to have your manifestations come forward when you are in alignment, but it's figuring out what exactly you are trying to manifest first, so that then you could put yourself in that frequency, which we'll get into in a moment. But going back to the money example, so many people, they do all the manifestation techniques of all the money that they have in their bank account. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling you to stop doing those things. However, it's harder to really embody, and it's harder to be in alignment with a bunch of money as opposed to being in alignment with quitting your job, because that's what you really want. That's what you're really trying to manifest. So be really mindful of that when you are, figuring out what it is that you're trying to manifest. So what I've noticed based on my experience and based on other people's experiences where manifestation is working for them, money and these other things come as a byproduct. Remember, the universe will figure out how you get what you want. So whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, you don't need to figure out the how. So again, if you're wanting freedom and you don't want to work and you want to be able to quit your job, you don't need to try to manifest the how. You need to just try to manifest what you want, the freedom, not working. And again, I'm just using that as an example. But again, that's where a lot of people go wrong. They try to manifest winning the lottery, for example, or winning a lump sum of money so that they then can get what they were really wanting. So that's one thing. And with alignment, intention is very, very key as well. It needs to be coming from a good place. Again, it needs to be in alignment with who you are or who you are wanting to become. Who are you as a person? If you are trying to manifest something that doesn't align with who you are or who you are becoming, you're not putting out the right energy. It's going to be a lot more difficult, but it'll be a lot easier to figure out what you're trying to manifest. Again, if you ask yourself the questions, okay, why am I trying to manifest money? What's the true reason behind that? The next thing that I want to talk about that's super important when manifesting is embodiment. You really, really, really need to embody the feeling of whatever it is that you're wanting. You need to embody the version of you that already has what you're wanting. This has been proven by quantum physics, so this is not just me speaking spiritually here, and I have spoken about this before, but there is a future version of you currently that has what you want. There is a timeline existing in this reality of you that has this manifestation, whatever it is. So ask yourself, who is that version of you? What do they look like? How do they act? Etc., etc. What would they be doing? And you need to embody that feeling as if you already have it. So for example, if you are trying to manifest a music career, you need to act as if you already are successful in the music industry. Or if you're trying to become a successful actor or actress, you need to act as if you are already a successful actor or actress. You can't go about it and say, oh, I'm just starting this and that, and not be confident, because then how are you supposed to get to the version of you that is already successful? You need to become that version of you quite literally before the manifestation comes in. And sometimes, that's why it can literally take years for a manifestation to come in, because to get your subconscious mind on board with your conscious mind, with what you're trying to manifest, your subconscious, like your entire being, needs to believe that you are already that person. And that can take time, because it's not easy to just wake up one day and fully believe consciously and subconsciously that you are that version of yourself that has what you're wanting. That can take time, and that's why the universe will give you small things at a time, and through the span of a year or 2 years or 5 years or however long it is, through that time, you are building your confidence, and your subconscious mind is slowly getting on board with fully believing that. And that's why it could take a few years to fully embody that feeling, because you really need to believe it. And that's the hard part. And that's why manifestation techniques don't just work. You need to take action. But let's say thank you to today's sponsor. Thank you, Sue, from Diamond's Natural Store, which is a pet food store based out of Illinois, but all orders purchased online over $25, there is free shipping. So check out diamondsnaturalstore.com. Diamond's Natural Store is named after Diamond, which is Sue's dog that unfortunately passed away, but the story behind it is truly touching. touching. So definitely check out the story that is on their website. Diamond's Natural Store, they have all natural treats for dogs and cats. They also have bird supplies, dog toys, cat toys. They also carry natural supplements, some of which include probiotics, prebiotics, liver support, and mushroom supplements. My dog and my cat absolutely loved the treats from Diamond's Natural Store, so I definitely recommend. But thanks again, Sue, for sponsoring today's video. But let's get back to the episode. For example, if you want to be a YouTuber, you need to embody the feeling of what it would be like to be a full-time YouTuber. And it could take a few years to become successful on YouTube, but with consistency, you will become successful. But again, you need to post content consistently as though you were already a successful YouTuber, and you need to act as though you already have a bunch of subscribers. You need to act as though you are already producing value, and you need to fully believe that. At the beginning, you're obviously not going to fully believe that, because if you look at your page, you're not going to see, 100,000 subscribers right away. It doesn't work that way, which is why the subconscious mind, it's a battle between the conscious and subconscious mind. But as time goes, you will gain followers, and then you're going to believe it more and more and more and more and more and more until you're fully able to embody that feeling once you're there. And then you're going to look back and be like, holy shit, my manifestation came in, but it was a journey for that manifestation to come in, and you need to enjoy the journey as well. And oftentimes when we want our manifestation to come in, we want it right away, but we're not actually ready for it right away, and we only realize that in hindsight. So it's completely embodying that version of you. So again, if you're wanting to have a successful music career, what is that version of you doing? Are they producing music or whatever it is? Are they doing that regularly? Are they confident in their skills and their ability? You need to start projecting that energy now. You need to start doing those little habits now. Maybe that version of you wakes up at 6 a.m. to start, writing. Maybe that's when they're in their creative flow or whatever it is. That's just an example. But again, you fully need to embody and believe it. And that's why people are like, oh, I'm doing all these manifestation techniques. Nothing's happening. It's because you're just sitting and wishing for it. You need to actually show action and start doing the thing so that your subconscious mind is starting to register, I'm doing it and I'm seeing progress. I'm starting to believe this more. I'm starting to believe this more. I'm starting to believe this more until eventually you have what you want. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if that's making sense to you. I hope that I'm explaining it well. But the third thing that's truly important, honestly, is self-worth. How do you get self-worth? It's healing. You need to know how valuable you are and what value you bring to the table. And you need to know that you deserve this manifestation to come in. And a lot of people think, yeah, I value myself. I have a high self-worth. Not saying that you don't, but really question that, because oftentimes, again, there's limiting beliefs that creep in subconsciously, and those subconscious beliefs don't actually believe that you do deserve what it is that you're wanting. So there's so much shadow work and healing and learning about yourself, and it's seemingly non-related, but it is more than you will ever realize. Once you fully do the healing and really get to know yourself as well, because that's another key thing. This should have actually have been the first thing that I talked about, is self-worth, because it's really getting to know yourself, and again, knowing your worth, knowing what you deserve, and getting to know yourself so deeply that it's easier to figure out what is in alignment with you, so that once you know what's in alignment with you, then it's easier to manifest those things. But you need to get to know yourself, 444 on my timer as I'm saying that, but you need to get to know yourself on an intimate level, and you need to dive into the shadow work. You need to do the healing. And so many people feel like manifestation means you can't feel your emotions, and that is so ass backward. You do need to feel your emotions, because by simply just projecting quote unquote good energy and hiding the feelings of inadequacy or the upset feelings or quote unquote negative feelings that you have, by ignoring it, you're pushing it down, but it's still a part of you, and your subconscious mind knows that. So energetically, you are going to be projecting that whether you realize it or not. So it's really taking the time to feel what you need to feel, to dive into the shadow work, to do this introspection, to do the self-evaluation, to heal your past traumas so that you can feel it and release it so that it's no longer a part of you. And then through that, you are going to learn about yourself. You are going to have a higher self-worth. Your vibration is going to rise, and that is going to cause you to be a magnet. And that is when your manifestations will start coming in faster. So the worst thing you could do is only try to project good energy and not let yourself feel your feelings. I'm not telling you to feel your feelings and get stuck in that and to play the victim and to stay in that mindset. Feel your feelings, figure out what it is that you need to learn, heal yourself, release it, move forward. And it is good to have a positive outlook on everything you can. I'm not saying, oh, don't be positive all the time. It's important to be positive with things. For example, if you go to catch the bus and you miss the bus, instead of being like, oh shit, like I missed the bus and play the victim, you could be like, okay, do you know what? I missed the bus. Maybe there was a lesson for you. Maybe the universe is trying to teach you not to be tardy in the morning. Or maybe you missed that bus because the next bus you were supposed to bump into a person that might change your life. Do you know what I mean? It's having those optimistic views on the day-to-day things, and it's reflecting on things and learning when you need to learn, and viewing things as positive and having a positive outlook. That is very key. But there is a huge difference between having a positive outlook and shoving down your emotions. You need to feel your emotions. If you shove down your emotions and only put on a positive view on top of it, your emotions, like I said, are still there. Subconsciously, you know that. You're going to be projecting that energy. Quite literally, you need to feel it to heal it. Feel it, release it, learn from it, grow from it, evolve as a person. You find more self-value and your vibration will rise. But from a day-to-day, do be positive, I hope that makes sense as well. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. And learning about yourself and getting to know yourself and healing is a forever journey. You don't need to be completely healed for your manifestations to come in. You don't need to completely know yourself, because in my opinion, we don't necessarily always completely know ourselves, because we're always learning and growing and evolving. We're never just one person. We're always changing. So it's important to always take the time to get to know yourself and reflect on things. With that said, once you really take the time to do that and you start doing that regularly, and once you start realizing what truly is in alignment with you, that's when it's easier to figure out what it is that you're really trying to manifest. And that's when you'll be able to fully embody it and be that person. And once you get to that point, your manifestations will really start coming in. So if you're watching tarot readings online or whatever types of readings, and these readings are telling you something good is coming and you're like, nothing's been coming in, you're probably not doing something right. Take a pause and reflect. Have I done the shadow work? Have I done the introspection, self-evaluation? Have I healed wounds that might be there from childhood or from the past or from whatever past traumas? Have you taken the time to do that? Have you taken the time to find your self-worth? Have you taken the time to really realize what is in alignment with you? Have you taken the time to embody that of which you desire? Have you taken the time to embody the version of you that has what you're wanting? Ask yourself those questions. Be honest, real, and raw with yourself about it. And if the answer is no, your manifestations are probably not close. And I mean that with love. I mean that with tough love. Manifestations, they're not just something that's going to fall on your lap. Again, there's work that needs to be done with it, and that's not talked about enough. So I'm just here to say it how it is. I'm here to be honest about it. And that's why so many people think manifestation's not real. It is real. It really, really is. But how it's taught, how people talk about it, how spiritual gurus talk about it is, I don't want to say wrong, but it's not fully accurate, because people make it seem as though, oh, it's so easy. All you need to do is journal and your manifestations are going to come in. But that's not the case. And I'm looking down and it's 222 for me right now. 222, we got an angel number. And yes, my thing says good things are coming. Anyways, I've been seeing 222 all day today. Side note, irrelevant, but just saying, I'm going to look that up later. But really ask yourself those questions, because like I was saying, so many people talk about manifestation as if it should be so simple, as if all you need to do is manifest on the full moon or do all of these manifestation techniques, write in your journal, and in time you don't have to do anything else. Your manifestations are going to come in, when that's really, really backwards. Again, the manifestation techniques are not a bad thing. Do them because it might help you get into that energy. So do that if it helps you, but there's a lot more that needs to be done on top of those things. Embodiment, alignment, self-worth, healing. But that is it from me today. Let me know if this helped you out. Please let me know in the comments. Let me know if you want more manifestation tip, technique videos. Let me know what else you want from me. Sending you all so much love and light. And until next time, Bye, guys.
This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion.